Good boy. Hey everyone. It's good to be back. It's been a while. You're probably wondering where I've been. Well, it's been pretty eventful the last couple of months, and I'll tell you more about why.
Salut, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Beth.
We're fixing up an old townhouse in the Loire Valley of France, uncovering history and trying to solve mysteries.
We're creating our home and a space for art workshops. Come on along.
So, as the title of this video suggested, I overdid it and ended up injuring myself doing DIY. So, it's okay. I'm on the mend. Things are good. And I'll explain more later in the video. But first, let's do some time traveling, and we'll go back and look at what happened the last few weeks that JoJo and I were there in Amboise.
Walking by a castle? How cool is that? This has got to be the coolest place to go for a walk with your dog. It's just amazing. I don't think I'll ever get used to it.
thought I'd just talk to you while I'm having some tea and thinking about this coming week. So I have decided to go home early. Instead of, I was going to say like another month, but the main reason I'm going home early is because it's so expensive to run the heating right now, because we need to get some things worked out, some upgrades made to the house that'll make it more efficient. As of now, we only have these 3 rooms, this one, la salle à manger, and the other 2, which are salons. They have new sheetrock walls that have insulation in them, as well as a moisture barrier, but the windows are still single pane old windows that we're gonna have refitted with double glazing this summer. And also we're probably going to make some changes to our boiler and radiator system. We've talked to a technician about that and what could be done, and have the kind of temperature adjustments on each radiator that you can adjust individually. And it'll just help us maintain the house in a much more efficient and economical way. And so until we get that kind of stuff done, it's kind of silly to be here during the coldest time of the year. It's just crazy expensive. And I don't really need to be here right now. I could go back to Austin and then come back in the late spring or early summer. We're planning to come back in the summer anyway. And it's just it's a more pleasant and fun time of year to be here. So since I'm only doing a tourist visa anyway, I can only stay a certain amount of days. You have to play that Schengen shuffle, as a friend of mine called it. So so I'm just gonna leave early. So that means as of today, when I'm filming this, I only have about a week left, and I want to try to get as much done in the petit salon as I can. That's the one I've been showing you that has the teal, green, blue walls. Is the room we're going to be using for our workshops when we get that going in the future. And I have a lot of ideas for it. And it's also where I'm going to be temporarily when I'm here, using it as like my office. It'll be a really cool room to have done. It'll be kind of like a little sitting room we can use, and an office. And so my goal is to try to get as much done on that room before I leave town. So, cheers to that. We'll see how much I get done, and you'll be seeing it in this video. Ta-ta. Oh, interesting note. I recently learned that the phrase toodaloo, which is primarily British English, but we say it in the States sometimes too, just a silly bye, toodaloo. And I recently learned that the origin of that is probably the French phrase à tout l'heure. I might not be saying it right. À tout l'heure.
À tout l'heure.
Which is see you later. And then soldiers stationed in France picked it up, and it kind of migrated to, not migrated, what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of transformed into the phrase toodaloo. I thought that was really cute and interesting. There's a lot of phrases like that have origins in French that we've adopted into English, and sometimes we still say them pretty similar to the French way. Other times they've been mutated. That's the word I was looking for, mutated. Other times they've mutated into other things like toodaloo. So, toodaloo. You wanna go outside? Come on. Hey JoJo, wanna go for a walk?
You knew before I even asked it. You wanna go? You wanna go to the coffee shop? Let's go get some lunch and have a little outing. Yeah! Yeah!
Well, I'm leaving town tomorrow, but before I go, I'm trying to paint the upper trim that we painted before, but the color turned out to not be quite right. It's too blue, doesn't match, so I'm going to make my own tint of the wall color. And so a tint is just a color with white added to it. So I know it'll match perfectly because it's the same color, just with a lot of extra white. And for some reason that doesn't quite make sense to me. At the professional level paint store I went to, they don't do that. So, but that's fine. I can make my own tint. I know how to do this. I used to teach high school art and we did this kind of stuff all the time. It's totally in my wheelhouse. Just gonna make my own tint. So here we go. I bought a tub of white paint. Okay, so this is just white paint. I want to mix the color into the white, not the other way around, for two reasons. One, I want to make sure I have enough. So I got this, this whole bucket is dedicated to this trim. This will be my new trim color. So it makes more sense to have a full bucket. And the other thing is, I want way more white in the color than the teal. So trying to add white to it would take forever, turn into a huge mess, and I wouldn't be able to control the quantity. I wouldn't have any more of this color left. It just doesn't make sense. I'm going to use my wall color, which needs to be mixed. And I'm actually, because I want this to be very light, I'm just gonna start by mixing what's left here on the drill into the white and see how much white that gets us. Oh, one of my hairs. Not good. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna need more. So I'm just gonna add a little at a time because I can't make it lighter if I go too far. So I'm just gonna add a little at a time so I don't get too green too fast. So I'm just using a brush to kind of plop some in there. Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of trying to gauge how much it's gonna take because I have no idea. It's a lot of white paint, so probably gonna be a couple more brushfuls at least. Let's see what that gets us. Getting closer. Okay, because I know it's gonna dry darker than it looks in here, I'm gonna go ahead and test it and let it dry and come back and see if I like it. Because like I said, if I go too dark, I can't go backwards and make it lighter again. And I'll never be able to mix this color exactly the same again. Like this is it. This is what we're working with for the whole trim. So I want to test it out before I add any more green to it. I'm a very messy painter. Doesn't matter as long as you get the job done, right? The light's so different in different spots that it's really see it in different lights. So, let that dry and see how it goes.
Give me that belly. Yeah, buddy. You're a good boy. I know it's a stressful day, but you're a very good boy, even when you're a pain in the butt. King bed and a whole couch. Nice. And a nice looking bathroom. JoJo approves. Oh, his tail's wagging. You happy now? We're finally settled in.
So it could have been doing this, or this, or maybe this, or even this. I'm not sure. But at some point, I really aggravated the nerves in my carpal tunnel in both hands, in my wrist, because I thought I was being really clever and I was using both hands to work. I thought it would be better on my hands and wrists and everything. I thought it would be less tiring, but actually I ended up just hurting both wrists. It started while I was still there in Amboise. It was just at night my hands would be really tingly, and I was having trouble sleeping because it kept waking me up. Like they were kind of numb and prickly, like that pins and needles feeling in my fingers, like really bad, and it would wake me up over and over again. I was just pretty exhausted by the time I got back to Austin. The nerve problems were all the time. Like my hands just never stopped tingling and feeling numb and weird. And so I ended up getting diagnosed with pretty bad carpal tunnel in both wrists. Had the surgery done, so now you can just see I have band-aids here. It's pretty minimal. I'm glad I got it done. The surgery, the surgeon said it was a great time to do it. I really needed it, but that he expects I will have a 100% recovery, but though it may take a while. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going back to Amboise in May. We're gonna be doing quite a bit this summer. We have some friends visiting, and we'll be showing you a lot of stuff from Amboise.
There you go. All right.
Okay,
Hit it.
so we finally learned how to use our mics properly, so the sound should be better. That's nice.
Yep.
And then we have some really awesome projects coming up this summer, right?
Yeah, can't wait to get out there and do that.
So what's on our to-do list?
Okay, so the first priority is I'm going to renovate the shower in our bedroom. And this is the one that is the glass cubicle. It's actually plastic and it has the old tile in it. And we have already purchased all the materials to completely renovate that thing. So we have the shower pan, we have the fittings, we have the tile. I even have all of the plumbing. So that's exciting. We're going to do that. That's the number one priority.
That's our top priority?
Top priority, so that we can have a lovely shower.
A nice shower.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Very exciting.
Of course, I'll be there 6 whole weeks before he arrives, so 6 weeks with the...
But it's in the summertime,
6 weeks with the current shower.
What, in the summertime, you need like a shower like what, every 2 weeks? Might be able to push it to 3.
Anyway...
second priority.
Second priority is...
Yeah, so the second priority that we're still working on is replacing the glass in the front windows all along the front of the house. There's a lot of, the glass is very, very thin. And so we're working right now on a plan to put in double glazing in each of the panes. And you can buy custom sized pieces of double pane glass, and then you can put them in and then put the new trim in there. So that will make a huge difference on the energy savings and efficiency, and also the noise, because we have a lot of people walking by all the time. So.
And this little guy's anxiety levels.
He's doing his job. He doesn't like anyone to be in or around the house unless it's us.
He's a really good guard dog.
Yeah.
But people walk past our house on the sidewalk
all the time.
all the time.
Yep. Hey, I mean, it's a lovely tourist town.
It is.
That's what we want, but
We just don't want to. We don't want it to sound like they're walking through our living room.
right. So that's priority number 2.
Okay, awesome. Oh, and speaking of windows, when I first get there early on, I'm gonna try to contact that stained glass artisan and have him come and look at the stained glass windows and doors in the dining room and give us a quote, some advice on how to repair those,
Yeah.
and maybe weatherize them in a way that doesn't cover the old stained glass. So basically have a consultation with him and then see if he's able to help us out. And what about the heating for next winter?
Oh, yeah. So what we want to do is, so we have the old radiator heaters, and I've been doing some reading about what the history of those are. It looks like they were from the 1930s. I had thought they were older, but I think that system that we have was probably put in the 30s between the two wars. So, and so one of the problems, it's a wonderful way to heat a house if you have a house that is energy efficient as far as insulation goes. The plan is to get thermostatic valves put on each one, and I'm not sure if we're gonna have somebody do that or I'm gonna try to do it. But plumbing that's 100 years old sometimes can be really difficult to deal with, so we'll see. So I'm in contact with a radiator and heating specialist that is in Amboise that came out and looked at our system before, and I've asked to see if he's available to replace all of the valves with new thermostatic valves. We'll see if he has time to do that.
Awesome. That's a lot of exciting stuff.
Yep. It'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, y'all, and subscribe. Wait, what? Stay tuned, y'all. So stay tuned, y'all. Make sure you're subscribed and you have your notifications on so you don't miss our next video.
And if you'd like a sneak peek of the wild new art collection I'm working on right now, sign up for my VIP newsletter. I'll put the link in the description below. Okay, that's it.
Okay. And I have one more question.
Okay.
JoJo, you want to go for a walk?
Bye.